Usually what I do for the week is I'm like, let's pick 2 to 3 protein sources because those will be like your lunch and dinners and you can kind of do different things and rotate those out. And then I'll prep whatever that is. And I have an air fryer. So I mean, I literally use my air fryer for everything and anything. I can't stop using it. So air fry whatever proteins I'm using. And then I'll pick my next carbs that I want to do. If it's potatoes or pasta, usually those are my favorite. I usually do frozen veggies and then some type of fruit. So like that's also how I grocery shop and form the list too. It's like 2 to 3 proteins, however many different carbs is usually just like 2 carb sources. And then I pick out fruits and vegetables that I'm going to have for that week. And I usually I'm like the bulk prepper. So even though my meal prep probably looks similar to yours because I meal prep in that way, but then I like add to it when I'm making the meals, like it's not as consistent as you are.
I remember when we first met, you brought up a lot of frozen different things because you actually freeze meals, right? Like full meals.
Oh yeah,
together.
I do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can you go into that? I don't do that at all, but I've always thought that was a pretty smart idea.
Well, there's been times like if I were to actually individually meal prep, like the typical meal preps you see online, sometimes I would freeze my 5th day of food or 4th day even because thought it would kind of be gross that by the time I'm at 4th or 5th day, the food tastes bad. I felt like, but I also saw someone on YouTube, but I forget his channel, but he came up with something called Snack City. So he would pretty much like make these little easy things that you can heat up and you put them in the freezer and you literally almost like a freezer meal or freezer food that you buy at the store that's not as macro friendly. You grab it, heat it up, and I have an air fryer. So I literally air fry everything because it tastes so much better. Air fry it and then I heat it up. Like I've done that for so long. And if you have whatever you have, like if I have these chicken nuggets that I made from his recipe and they're made with like corn checks or something. So they are actually really macro friendly, like the breading. So it's so easy to like air fry those. And he also did like the frozen potatoes, like he would do potato fries and I could have that and then a frozen vegetable. And it's like, I just made this meal for my freezer and I could have nothing in my fridge, but I still had that meal. Or even if I had like a bag of lettuce, I could make a chicken salad and maybe like a can of beef. Like something like that would be super easy to just throw together. So that's what I always have in my fridge. Like I always have something from that guy's YouTube channel, which is on my Instagram. So I have mentioned him on my Instagram, but that's like my favorite.
That makes sense. So instead of having grilled chicken, well, you probably do too sometimes, but like if you like something that week, it's like, oh, I want to have like these chicken nuggets or whatever. I'm going to make it, put it in the freezer. And then when I do feel like having it, bam, grab it out of the freezer, put it in the air fryer, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I bulk prep them. And sometimes the week I bulk prep them, I won't even eat them that week because it's not meant for me to eat them that whole week. It's meant for like my emergency situations where I know I'm not going to have any time to cook or I have no groceries. Like there's nothing in the house and I have to go to the grocery store, but I'm in between meetings. I can't go yet.
Or you want it.
Yeah, or I just want it.
Most people, when they meal prep, like me, I make everything I want for the week. And then that's what I'm eating throughout the week, right? So if I'm making ground sirloin, chicken breast and whatnot, like those are the sources I'm working with for the week. How we are completely different. Because I like your approach is like, okay, cool. Yeah, I have kind of what I want throughout the week. But if I want chicken nuggets, because I don't have to have chicken nuggets every day. If I want chicken nuggets, I just go to my freezer, pull it out to ready cook, prep, everything like that, throw it in the air fryer, get it out. It's ready, the portions I want. And then I'm not going to have chicken nuggets with my rice or chicken nuggets with my vegetable, whatever it is I want to have it with. And I like that because in my way, it's just in the fridge. So you're going to eat it the next, 5 days. And so boom, boom, boom. I made mine with cornflakes and like crush them up. I think it was cornflakes. Yeah, was it cornflakes? Yeah.
I think it was Chex.
Have you tried cornflakes?
But I've seen cornflakes too. I haven't.
Yeah, the cornflakes one was bomb because the cornflake has a natural like honey taste, like kind of taste to it.
Yeah.
Put them all together and made like cut the chicken up into like chicken nugget sizes. And so bomb. Like I made this for dinner one time just because it tasted really good. Like just cornflakes and like mashed potato. What was it with? It was like mashed potatoes or something like that, or just regular potatoes, or French fries, like homemade French fries.
I was meal prepping them one day and then I had friends come over and they were like cooling down. So everybody's like, what are these? And I was like, oh, have some. And they're chicken nuggets. Everybody loves them. And they are not people that even like track calories or know what macros are. And they were like, these are so good. And I was like, oh, those are like, lower calorie. Those are not like real chicken nuggets, Yeah. And they were like, really? They couldn't even tell.
And I liked it too because you have it in the freezer, kind of like how these companies make their regular chicken nuggets, right? That's high in like a bunch of crap in it. And you have to wait. Obviously, you put it in the freezer. When you want it, you just heat it up. But it's kind of, you're doing the same thing for yourself, but just it's going to fit your calories. You're going to cook it, But let's say you don't want to have chicken nuggets every day. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, cool. It was great the first day. It was great the second day. But then now maybe you're the person that's like, okay, third or fourth day, I really don't want it today. But then that's what you have in the fridge. It's going to go bad if you obviously take it out. So your case is like, no, it's in the freezer. It's going to last a few months. When I want it, bam, pull it out. Now I'm set. I like that. I'm pretty old.
I know. I'm going to hold you to that. Let's ask him every week. Did you try that recipe yet?
Right. Yeah. I'm not big on change. Honestly, I really just love, so this is my way of doing it. Every week, go to the meat market, like we talked about the last one. So honestly, I don't really eat that much chicken breast as I used to. I used to eat a lot, primarily chicken breast back in the day, but now it's probably just like, I'll get 1 or 2 breasts, literally 1 or 2 breasts for just the family. Every Sunday or Monday, usually depends, but we'll go to the meat market. I'll get 1 or 2 chicken breasts and then always get a steak, like several steaks. So either sirloin, New York, or ribeye, depending on how I feel, how I'm looking, right? If I'm just kind of like maintaining, if I'm slightly over, so you come back down. If I'm slightly under, you need to come back up. Get a steak cut, 2 or 3 of them, and then because every Monday, whenever I go to the meat market, whatever day that is, I'm always going to have a steak sandwich. I love, if you see me post it, I always make myself, my wife,
I do,
a steak sandwich with like sweet potato fries or regular fries. And we just love that meal so much. So I always make it every week. But then there's always leftover steak. So I just always slice up the steak and I leave it left over because that's what I put on my breakfast in the morning. I always have eggs, bacon, and then some kind of red meat on top of that with the potatoes and the sourdough toast. I do that. And then obviously every week, ground sirloin that I cook up for the week. I'm eating those meals throughout the week. And that's pretty much my set things. Now, can I still kind of be flexible with them? Yeah, because everything is about creating the meal. So you have the protein source, you have the carb source, you have the fat source. You're just kind of creating yourself. So if I have this many calories left, or I have this many calories I want to, or just depending on what I want to eat is based on my satiation. I'm always going to have my breakfast meal. So that's always my anchor meal. It's going to be there every single day. Kind of just build around it. But I honestly do love having ground sirloin, jasmine rice, and sweet potato and avocado. I love that meal. So I could really be consistent with that every single day too. One day I might not have sweet potato and it's just ground beef, rice, and avocado. But again, still love that meal. It's great. Or I could be creative and throw a fried egg on top of it. And then versus ground beef, white rice, fried egg, no avocado, no sweet potato, cut through the fried egg and the yolk comes off of it and it just makes the meal. 3 different versions of it that I can make do every single week while just making the same thing every single week. Just different ways of making it, cooking it, and prepping it. Well, that's what I will be eating though throughout the week, and that's kind of my thing. But I have different versions of everything, obviously. I think that's what makes it really great too. Even though I'm a very consistent person, I still have versions of how I want to prep it, or how I want to cook it, or how I want to prepare it. As far as like different versions of different stuff with it. Like avocado. Do I want avocado? Do I not want avocado? Do I want sweet potato with it? Do I want sweet potato with it? And so I make multiple carb sources every week too. Jasmine rice every week, sweet potato every week. Potatoes every week, but most of the potatoes are usually made with my breakfast. If you wanted potatoes with your chicken, you could always do that. Just having the sources ready, cooked, prepped, ready, available in your fridge. Then you just build the meal, and that's how you make. That's how I make the meal. Because people always say like, "Oh, I get bored." Well, you're only getting bored because you're making yourself bored by making the same thing every single time. Because even with just marinades itself, right? If I was to have chicken breast and I have like, let's say you're so used to doing salt, pepper, garlic, there's a million other seasonings you could do to the chicken breast. People forget like that's what all cultures do anyways. Like you're not using proteins that you probably don't know of, the most common ones, right? Everyone's usually cooking with chicken. Everyone's usually cooking with some kind of beef, and they just make it their own in their culture. And so you just gotta do that yourself with your own meal prepping. I'm gonna make it this way with this seasoning. I'll make it this way with that seasoning. I'm gonna do like a ranch style seasoning with my chicken. I'm gonna do a hot style way, like Cajun style with my chicken this week. There's so many different ways. Find whatever seasonings that you're using with whatever you're doing. If you like it at that much, keep note of it so that you consistently have that all the time. And then you have like 3 different versions of seasonings or marinades, because again, marinades, you can sit overnight, let it just infuse into the chicken or to the meat, whatever it is that you're doing, or the pork, whatever it is, or the shrimp. And then you cook it, it's gonna just have that much flavor to it. Keep note of those different seasonings and marinades, and then like, cool, I wanna be able to have that with my food all the time. And now you have different versions, like this version, that version of chicken, this version of chicken, this version of chicken. What do I wanna do for this week? Again, whether you're doing more consistent like my way, and you can still have multiple versions of it, or you could do even more flexible.
Yeah. I also will do the chicken or rice and chicken or beef sometimes, whatever it is, exactly what you said. And I know I've mentioned this, but I'll just keep different sauces in the fridge. And it is game changer because there's the marinade that you put on the meat, and you get a little bit of texture in the rest of your dish if you add some type of cool sauce that you enjoy. another thing that people could think about.
I didn't realize, but yeah, another way too, and I do all the time as well, is tacos, right? The only thing that separates a taco from, let's say you're doing chicken and rice, beef and rice, whatever it is, now you pull out some corn tortilla or flour tortilla, whatever it is, and I can literally just take out the rice, put tacos, put the meat in there, bam, now I just have myself something way different. Add lettuce, add whatever toppings you want to it, and now you have a freaking taco.
Tortillas especially, I feel like they get a lot of hate. I'm like, I love tortillas. I'm like, when you look at the calorie breakdown of corn tortillas, even, like, they're really not that bad.
It's I think like what, 2 corn tortillas for like
190 calories.
Yeah, so if I have 2 tacos, I'm only having 90 calories worth of tortilla. Your 90 calories of rice is gonna be like
tiny.
Yeah. People forget, they associate white rice with healthy, right? And they forget that white rice is actually really higher in calories. Is it good for you? Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great for digestion as well. As far as micronutrient wise, there's not really much in it, but as far as its digestion, and just makes it easy, the convenience of it, the way to cook it super fast. Yeah, it's great. But people forget, like, if you were to have like 100 calories white rice and 100 calories of fruit, or 100 calories in corn tortilla, you're gonna have more of the other, because rice adds up fast. And so even though it's great, like, it's gonna be like, it's just gonna add up really fast. And if you were like, okay, I'm just gonna have 50 calories worth of rice today, you'll notice real quick, like, shit, that's really nothing, and you're still hungry.
Thanks for watching. If you want to watch more, head on over to our private Facebook group, Metabolism and Diet Freedom for Busy Parents.